Hi, hello, and welcome to the very first Boxes and Bubbles spoiler-free comic book review. Today I'm going to talk about 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton, published by Image Skybound, written by Kyle Starks, whose name you might remember if you read Assassination a couple years back, art by Chris Schweizer, and colouring assistance by Liz Schweizer. The book, as you might expect if you're familiar with Assassination, is such a fun read. The story is that Trigger Keaton was a badass martial arts movie star, master of 7 different martial arts with an insane 25-year movie contract. He was also a complete asshole, which we can see right from the very start of the book, when he breaks a stuntman's nose and berates one of the kids he's filming a movie with. Years later, we meet Miles Gwyn, who has the subtitle Sidekick number 6. He comes to deliver Mr. Keaton's groceries and finds him dead, apparently from suicide. The police write it off pretty quickly, but Miles is a smart cookie. He's done some detective training to prepare for a movie he was supposed to be starring in with Keaton, and right away he notices that there's more than one brand of beer can on Trigger's table at the apartment, which shows that Trigger wasn't drinking alone. Add to that Trigger Keaton isn't the kind of guy who really cares about anyone besides himself. Suicide just doesn't seem like something he would do. Days later at the funeral, the other 5 sidekicks are introduced, and it seems like Miles is going to have a tough time convincing anyone to join him in looking for the killer. Everyone hated Keaton, and a couple of the former sidekicks blame him for their failing careers, and in one case his entire life being ruined. The dialogue and characters in the funeral scene are really funny, and each one feels distinct, which is impressive given the number of characters. There's one particular character though who shows up drunk, offering everyone pocket beers. A big clue for Miles, since he's seen that beer can previously at Keaton's place. It turns out though, one of the old sidekicks is now working at a hospital, and could do Miles the favour of getting him a look at Keaton's body. He really did learn some stuff from his time with the police because he notices some clues that tell him Keaton really was murdered. Putting together the fact that someone could overpower Keaton and the brand of beer he saw in the apartment, there's an obvious suspect for the murder. Miles goes right to the movie studio to confront the suspect, but it really doesn't seem like he was the right guy, contrary to the evidence. Then, right after his theory is disproved, there's another problem for Miles. Some stuntmen overhear them talking about Trigger and start some beef, but not just any beef. It's a stuntman war! This is a really good first issue because the plot is really solidly set up, but there's still a mystery about who killed Keaton. The dialogue and characters are really funny, but during the investigation parts it slows down enough to be serious. Just for a moment. It's the kind of comic book that anybody can read, and have a good time reading. I had such fun reading it, and I would highly recommend it. Alright, that's it for today. But if you want to hear about some other books that came out this week, make sure you check out the rest of the channel where I'll be putting up 1 or 2 videos every day talking about some books that came out this week, with no spoilers.